For me, perfection is uninteresting. So we like things a little more wild here.
On this episode of The Winemakers, we meet Anthony Yount, an extremely talented guy who found his way in life at a bizarrely young age and is crafting the estate of his dreams stick by stick, row by row, brick by brick, one animal at a time. Here's a reminder that Paso Robles still is the Wild West, one of the few places on the planet you can grow both full-bodied Bordeaux and intricate Rhones. And yet, it is still a community of cowboys and farmers, like Anthony, making wine with crazy names like Ditch Digger. While moulding his estate and scheming up names, Anthony is still running Denner's 130-acre, multi-million-dollar operation. With his track record, he could be making wine at any winery in the world, yet he chooses to make tiny quantities clinging to the edge of York Mountain while watching his livestock, vines, and daughter grow.
I want to know your story.
Okay.
You started off, obviously, you grew up in
St. Louis.
St. Louis,
Missouri.
Okay.
The wine capital of the world.
Yeah, drinking beer.
Drinking beer. Drinking Budweiser, and Boone's Farm was my version of wine. I was always into agriculture. We had a little piece of property that we rented in outstate Missouri on a river, and our landlords had cattle. I used to help them with branding and castrating, and we processed chickens on the ranch or whatever they'd let me do. And I wanted to get into ag, and I knew I didn't want to be in commodity agriculture, corn and soybeans and pigs, everything that was happening in the Midwest. So yeah, I mean, I came out here to California to study ag. I thought I'm either gonna like grow avocados or write wine labels or brand baby lettuce or something like that, something real romantic, and I guess I ended up in probably the most romantic of all of that, making wine.
And then how did you end up interning at Denner?
Well, I took a viticulture class as part of my general electives and just absolutely loved it. My brother came out for my 21st birthday. We went wine tasting, and we actually tasted at Denner. And Ron and Marilyn Denner were doing the tasting. And Brian, who was the winemaker at the time, Marilyn had told me he was looking for an intern, and I said, well, I'd like to apply, and I got the job. So I've been there pretty much ever since.
And then this vineyard here, we're going to see the first grapes from it this year, right?
Well, we started planting in 2013. We planted 3 acres in 2013 and then finished up with another 4 acres in 2014. But then in 2016, we were finally able to make the wine we wanted to make. We call this the Royal Nonsuch Farm. So we're going to launch a new label. This won't be under the Canero brand because it's so different. It's all red wine, it's all estate fruit, and it's its own AVA.
So should we take a little stroll?
Why not? We'll go check out some animals.
Okay.
We do have something exciting that happened last week. We just had a baby lamb. He came home from vacation and he was born.
So this is a game? He just runs around and tries to catch the chicken?
This is it, and it keeps them tame. And when we have the meat birds,
Yeah.
she'll be our catcher.
Okay. So she decides which one we're going to have for dinner.
Uh-huh.
This is a chicken. A chicken.
We walk down a flight of stairs, through a covered carport, and over to a shabby-looking door on the side of the house.
Shall we go down to the tasting room? Because we don't have the winery here, right?
We don't have a winery here.
We pass through this little room stacked with tools and farm implements and open a second door leading into a wine cellar.
Here's a glass.
Oh, thank you. Very kind. So what have we got here now? You've given me a Denner wine?
Yeah, we're going to do a Denner wine.
Because obviously you make this too.
Yep. So this is from 2015. This is my favorite vintage of Grenache that we've made.
Why was that year so good?
15 was a very, very challenging vintage. It was probably the hardest, lowest rainfall year of the drought. So I think, I'm gonna go off the top of my head, we were about 8 inches of rain, which is 40% of a normal year, and you've compounded that with 4 straight years of drought conditions. What you ended up with were these wines that were powerful but elegant at the same time, and that's what this wine is to me. I mean, when I smell it, and we talk about suspense in a wine, if you're not looking at the color, to me it smells more like a white wine, but then when you taste it, you get all that spice and the weight and the texture and the tannin.
It's interesting how it changes in your mouth. It's dry though at the end. Is that what you want though? A wine that kind of changes flavor in the mouth as you drink it?
I want wines that evolve.
Okay.
They evolve over time, they evolve on your palate. They're not what you expected them to be. They create an experience that's more than just that sensory of drinking them.
Which brings us on to your latest.
Yeah, the latest and greatest. So we're gonna try the wine, the first wine off here. Hopefully it doesn't suck. So this is the 2016 Royal Nonsuch Farm.
Okay.
And this is a co-ferment, meaning that we picked all the grapes at the same time and we fermented them together. So you can blend wine or you can blend grapes, and we chose to blend grapes here. And the first vintage of wine, we didn't have the entire vineyard producing, so the blend's gonna evolve over the next couple of years. This first vintage is 50% Syrah, 30% Graciano, and 20% Grenache.
The first
And
year
this
we're
is
going
the
to be
first
able to
one.
do it.
Yeah, and we're gonna bottle this June 1st.
Ooh.
Bold,
Yeah.
spicy.
Very well. Very spicy.
Yeah.
Creamy though still too.
Yeah, still approachable. You know, again, we want wines that evolve, so they should be a little tight early, and then as they age, especially in bottle, we want to see them loosen up and become more interesting, more savory, more spicy, but also a little more approachable on the palate.
So what I find interesting with this one is that there isn't so much on the nose,
No,
as I say,
sure,
but there's so much flavour.
so much on the palate.
It's kind of the opposite to
The Grenache.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cheers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
To your first year. Let's get that chicken on.
Yeah. Let's pull this bird. What do you say?
Go for it. So cutting the rope
Cutting the
that's
truss.
held it together.
Yep.
Oh, the juice is dripping off
The
the board.
juice is dripping. That's a good sign.
It is?
Yep.
So like,
We
Like,
should, yeah, Zamboni
sip it up. And tell me what is, you know, we talked about pairing a wine with this chicken before, and you said anything goes,
Anything goes.
but why is that?
Because it's salty and juicy and delicious, and it's got protein, but it's white protein.
So
They're
white
pretty much-
protein is
I think
easier
so.
to pair with anything.
You know, I think pairing is all about enjoyment. Whatever you like is gonna work.
So you've got a red here, I've got a white.
Yep.
And I think you're right, they both go.
What's that? It's really good chicken. Thank you.
What is your passion? Do you love farming, but obviously winemaking has become such an important part of your life. You know, which one is more important to you? The whole idea of 100% natural ingredients or the wine itself?
Yes, Ramona. I need more chicken. That's my passion right there.
This little one,
This little one.
I can understand.
But
She's adorable.
you know, I'm getting more into the farming because I'm seeing that's really the way forward to making better wines. I'm probably better as a winemaker than I am a farmer. For me, it's about working the land and having the land become what this and this and that, you know.
And that's what defines you.
That's what defines the Royal Nonsuch Farm, at least.
Okay.
I hope I'm a little more complex than that, but who knows?
Well, as you said before, you are no better than your grapes.
Nope. And you are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
You want more chicken?